What makes lyrics cheesy? I think this is an important thing to think about because we all, hopefully, want to avoid cheesy, corny lyrics. And in order to avoid cheesy, corny lyrics, we kind of have to know what makes them cheesy to begin with. Let's talk about it. So one thing that seems to create cheesy lyrics are cliches or just cookie cutter lyrics in general. So just for a quick definition, a cliche is a word or phrase that is overused so much that it basically dulls its impact and doesn't really mean anything anymore. So examples of cliches would be things like break my heart, or I'm on my knees, begging please, or comparing love to some sort of drug. And then when it comes to cookie cutter lyrics, I like to think of this in two different ways. One is if it seems like lyrics that AI would come up with, given that AI is essentially taking all of the examples in the world and doing something that's sort of in the middle of it all. So by definition, basically, AI would generally come up with really cliche lyrics that are overused, because it would use the same phrases that lots of songs use. Another way to look at it maybe is just anytime you see something and you say, not only has this been said before, but this has been said in almost these exact same words many times before. Because yes, it's true that there's nothing new under the sun. Everything is going to reflect back on something that has existed before. But just because nothing is new under the sun doesn't mean that everything is equally old under the sun, because there are certainly some things that have been said 1 trillion times in the exact same way, and there's many other things that have been said less, or at least been said in different ways, so when you present your new twist on an old idea, it feels somewhat fresh still. So basically, don't use an excuse of, oh, there's nothing new under the sun to essentially do the most cookie cutter, corny stuff you can possibly do. Let's take a look at a couple lyrics that could probably be accused of being pretty corny. So let's look at All for Love by Bryan Adams, Rod Stewart, and Sting. Let's make it all for one and all for love. Let the one you hold be the one you want, the one you need, 'cause when it's all for one, it's one for all. When there's someone that should know, then just let your feelings show. And make it all for one and all for love. Now, whether you like that song or not, let's be honest, pretty cheesy, right? It's kind of one of those where if you did like the song and you didn't really pay attention to the lyrics, you probably cringed at least a little bit, like, oh, I like that song a little less after we just sort of read the lyrics, because it feels like it's saying nothing new at all. It's just sort of the same old copy-pasted, really generic language to be like, yay, love, I guess. Now let's talk about something that makes me more happy, which is making fun of Beyonce. This is the song Love on Top. Baby, it's you, oh. You're the one I love. You're the one I need. You're the only one I see. Come on, baby, it's you. You're the one that gives your all. You're the one I can always call. When I need, you make everything stop. Finally, you put my love on top. So again, maybe somehow you like that song, but it is a pretty corny lyric. It's sort of something that induces some cringe, right? And maybe you don't think it does, in which case, I don't know, click off of this video and just go write cringe lyrics. And that's because, again, nothing new is being said. And not only is nothing new being said, but it's basically just cliche after cliche after cliche. This honestly feels like a song if it were written back when AI was a thing. If somebody said, yeah, that lyric was written by AI, you'd totally believe it, because it just is so soulless. It's so saying the same thing in the exact same basic words that has been said 1 trillion times. So probably avoid this. One great way to avoid this is to not set yourself up for failure when it comes to lyric writing, and a great way to do that is to grab my 6-step lyric writing checklist. It breaks lyric writing down into 6 smaller baby steps that are way easier than just sitting down and demanding yourself improvise brilliant poetry, because most people can't do that. And even the people who can do that probably shouldn't do that most of the time, because writing, like everything else, has a process. And this process has some steps before you actually write the lyrics themselves, and there are steps after the process of writing the lyrics. Because with all writing of words, you want to have a form of editing process as well. Authors never just write a first draft of the book and send it out that way. It has drafts. They edit. They think about the wording more than just whatever they came up with the first time. So be sure to grab that, my free gift to you. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate every single one of you. Talk to you in the next one.